to an emergency update for Bitcoin. This relief rally is over. We are back below 22,000 as dreaded, back into this channel, and we need to put our DCA hat on. Make sure you hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, if you don't buy any crypto, you can do so using the links in the description to BYBIT or BitGet. But as you can see, I woke up to a horrible set of candlesticks here, with Bitcoin not only breaking our trend line, our key trend line, which we've been monitoring. And what did I say? When we lose this trend line, we will be heading back to that 22 level. You can see we breached that 22 level. We tried to hold on, but there is no strength here left from the boars, and we are falling to the downside. And this just goes on to reiterate for anybody who was confused, because I had people saying, this is our next bull run. And I categorically said to you guys, we are trading against the trend. We are hoping for a bear market rally, which is a relief rally into a position of strength for the bears. And I've continually said that, right? We were looking, can we get a little relief rally from 24 to 28, 29? We couldn't even get that. We got as far as 25, and this just further reiterates how strong the bears are. Now, what are the key levels? What do we need to look out for? We're going to go through that today here in this video. But first and foremost, let's take a look at what's going on in the pre-market. And you can see the pre-market is set to be down. Okay, and yesterday was also a bit of a weak day, right? So you saw, you can see the pre-market 0.6 down on the Dow, 0.8 on the futures, and 1% down here on the Nasdaq. So it's not setting up for to be a nice day here for crypto. And you can see here we've breached back below into our channel, and this is the channel between 22,000 at the top line here and 18,700 on the bottom line here, which we were in for a very long period of time when we entered it, dating back to 15th of June. But now is when the reality check comes. When I show you what happens here in this channel, this is the pattern we are forming, right? We've had a bear flag, fall, bear flag. Are we now going to fall bigger, right? Because if we lose this channel here, if we enter back in this channel and fall to the downside, things can get much more nasty. And I don't want to foreshadow too much, because we've still got a bunch of levels where support can come in. But if we fall back into this channel, we could be breaking down from the bottom of 18,700, and things could go test this lower low at 17,600, right? We could be going to test that. I also want to show you this on the weekly chart. Let's get a tidy chart here. Let's pull out the weekly. Let's bring out the EMA ribbon and look at where we are. I want to put this into perspective. If that was our relief rally, that should just go to show you how strong the bears are right now. Okay, the bears did not even allow us to go and touch our EMA ribbon. We didn't even get a slight consolidation into our EMA ribbon. So this is a big push to the downside, and is a really weak here for Bitcoin, right? Getting rejected from our 200 EMA as well. If I bring that out here, you can see that. That's this blue line here. That's your 200 week exponential moving average. We are getting rejected by that right now. Okay, so really big strength here from the bears, and a lot of people have been caught off guard by this. If we could pull out the fear and greed index, that's sitting at 33. No doubt when we get tomorrow's reading, that's going to be even lower, right? Because this was basically reflected from yesterday's trading, and we can see what's happening. Now, there's one key reason this is happening. There's one key reason why Bitcoin is struggling right now, and we need to look to what that is. And if I show you the dollar index, I want to bring out the dollar index. I need to show you this. Look at that week there from the dollar index. And this shows you the same picture which I was sharing with you in the other diagram, right? Because if I take this is our daily candles here on the dollar index. And what did I say? I said when we topped out here on the dollar index, if we see a sustained period to the downside, Bitcoin will do well. And we did. We saw that. Bitcoin did well. And when we got this wick below the EMA ribbon, that looked really good. Because if we could have closed our EMA ribbon below and had a sustained period where we flip our EMA ribbon to the downside, Bitcoin would have benefited hugely from that. But we got the exact opposite. Dollar index showed strength. It bounced from its EMA ribbon, and now look at it. It's bouncing with vengeance. And the worrying sign here is if this posts a higher high, back above 109, if this can go and create another new all-time high on the dollar index, which is inversely correlated to Bitcoin, this could spell quite bad signs for Bitcoin. This will not be good at all. Remember, these are negatively correlated. If I just flip across to the weekly, look how strong this weekly candle is on the dollar index. And if I zoom out, every time dollar index gets rejected and flips its weekly bearish to the downside, that is when Bitcoin's able to go on its runs. But right now, dollar index is not showing any signs of that. Now, why does the dollar index go up? Dollar index goes up when there's fears of recession, when there's fears of more pain, more geopolitical tensions, anything which is fearing the markets, people flock to the US dollar. Now, it doesn't mean that the US dollar is strong. We know it's weak. We know inflation is high. We know that dollar has some struggles, but it's a basket, and dollar index is considered safer than all the other currencies out there. So in times of fear or prolonged recession or any weak economic data, people flock to the dollar, and that is what we're seeing right now. Dollar index continuing to climb here, which is very, very difficult for Bitcoin to run in the face of that. So down 6% here on Bitcoin, not looking great. If I head on over to our daily, what I did want to bring out, let's get a tidy chart here for us, guys. I do want to bring out the Bollinger Band. Because what we'll notice here, let's just look at this Bollinger Band. You can see exactly what happened. I warned of this when we were running up here. I said we got rejected. We did not get a body close above our Bollinger Band. And then what happened? We've got thrown to the downside. We then lost the middle line of our Bollinger Band. If you look at Bitcoin, normally when it rejects, it tries to pick up some support from the middle, picked up some support from the middle. This time, no, failed all the way to the downside. And if we get this daily close below our Bollinger Band, this is not great, right? Because then this is your bearish continuation pattern, your rising wedge, whatever you want to call it, and then you fall back down to the downside. Okay, so this would just be a bear consolidation, a bear flag breaking to the downside here on the daily chart. Also, let's pop that back. Let's also bring out our VPVR. I do want to show you what happens here. We are now going back into that territory where there is strong volume, and it's going to be very difficult to break out from here. And this is the problem. We worked so hard to get to this level, and we were getting some green shoots of a relief rally. We were nearly there. But the bears hang on, they hanged on there, and they continued to push us down. And the bulls only had a little bit more left to do. The volume really thinly traded here. You could have had a really nice relief rally in there, but it just goes to show how strong the bears are that they said, we're not even going to let you have that. Because the bears could have waited. They could have sat at 28, 29 and pushed the sell button there to send us back down. And that is what I was looking for. But they said, hang on, we're just going to push you down from here. And it shows that they really do have a good stronghold here on Bitcoin. And we may be seeing more sideways to down action before any next big move here on Bitcoin. Now, one thing to note here on the hourly, do not be surprised. I just want to go back into my lined up chart. Do not be surprised if you get a little bit of a relief, right? Sometimes even in these big extended moves to the downside, you can look at RSI, super overheated. These are big candlesticks to the downside here in the hourly. Don't be surprised if you see this or if you see some sort of consolidation before the next fall here on the hourly chart, okay? So don't get caught by, oh, look, it's bouncing. It could just get thrown to the downside here, so we need to be careful. We have to look to the market open. We had the FOMC minutes come out a couple of days ago. That got the market, that started the rattle, right? Well, actually, the rattle started from Sunday. I covered this off with you when we saw the bearish divergence here. I signaled that on Sunday night, this week was not looking good. You can go back and watch that video. And I said the bearish divergence was showing it. It did cool down. I wasn't expecting us to get to 22K. I mentioned that that was one of our risks, but I was hoping that we were going to get some support from this region. The fact that we didn't get any support whatsoever from this region and we just dumped all the way down, that is what's reminding me that the bears are not to be messed with right now, and they are in very big and strong control. Okay, so we need to regroup, evaluate in terms of your long-term portfolio. I'm just dollar cost averaging and holding right now. I'm out of my trade position. Just in terms of my long-term position, I'm not panic selling at all. If this kind of blip shakes your conviction, I tweeted this just a little while ago, then you don't have any conviction. These kinds of moves in crypto are exactly the reason we are in crypto. We love this volatility. So if it's like $1,000 on Bitcoin in an hour is going to shake you, you're going to have a tough time in this crypto market, because that's something we need to get used to here in the crypto world. And if you're new to this space and a new crypto investor is born every single day, this is something you guys will become accustomed to. You need to have conviction. You need to hold the course. I'm not panic selling anything right now. I'm not taking any short-term trades right now, but I am focused on looking at areas for dollar cost averaging in that channel between 22,000 and 18,700. I said yesterday, I'm ready to nibble. I will be nibbling in this level. If we fall deeper into this channel, I will be nibbling even more. If we lose the channel to the downside, I'm going hard in the paint, that's for sure. Guys, if you want access to my technical analysis course, I filmed a full-on technical analysis course using my 10 years of experience of professionally learning trading, right? Technical analysis just for crypto. Obviously, I worked in traditional finance. I've been around stocks and investing for a very long time, and I learned all these skills in a professional capacity. So I've gone ahead and put that all in a course for you guys, and I'm not charging for it. So it's completely free. Check the link in the description to Skillshare. Sign up to that. You get some access for free, and you can watch that course completely for free. So check it out. Do share it with anybody who's new in crypto, and I'll see you in the next one.